So this will be part 2 of our continuation for today's analysis. But yeah, what I'm saying is for CFX, it looks very bullish because we have this impulse, right? We have an A, B, C. This is a running flat where the B wave comes up. It takes the top of the impulse, and then we come back down, right? And we make a higher low, right? And that to me is a running flat where you have a 1, A, B, C for a 2, and then all of this chop in here looks to me like either a nest of 1-2s or a diagonal here. So if we zoom in a little bit closer, you can see this could be a diagonal where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of like a broadening wedge, if you will. And then what we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's a typical crashing structure. You have a 7-wave move down. And then what happens is you pump up and then you kind of flag out. So I'm looking at this very bullishly. I think we're going to come back up and meet up at 21 to 25 cents, probably this coming week or maybe next week. We'll see how it goes. But I'm bullish on CFX. But how can you be bearish on one and be bullish on another one? Well, which one's telling the story? Because chances are one of them's going to be wrong, right? Because the market moves together, So we'll have to see. All right. So Theta, I don't know, man. Theta looks, I don't know. It's just trashy wave structure, and I'm not the only one saying that. I know we got guys saying that as well. I mean, look at this right here. Trash, trash, super trash. And I agree, it's difficult right now. So, when we encounter these areas, it's just a wait and see situation. We have to see, the market needs to reveal itself, right? And when I look at this chart, it actually looks bearish to me. It just does. I just don't like the way it looks. It doesn't give me bullish vibes. It gives me bearish vibes. It looks like we're cupping into the resistance, cupping into the resistance. We're kind of flagging out in here, and it looks like it wants to break down, which is really breaking down, right? It looks like we're flatlining. I mean, look at these rallies. It's super weak. So we need a lot of time or we need a correction. I don't know which one it's going to be. All right. But when you start zooming out, like if I zoom out to the weekly, it actually looks good. It actually looks really good. The reason why is because now I can see the 3-wave shape. 1, 2, 3. And sometimes when it's super trashy, you got to zoom out. And maybe we're not finished. By the way, the weekly chart looks okay. The candle looks okay because it's a doji candle. You could see we're coming down, and then boom, doji, which kind of gives us the sense that we're holding the line here, right? But what I like also, again, you have your impulse and you have your 3-wave pullback. So yeah, it's just kind of, we gotta wait and see how that all plays out. But I think, to me, we have this beautiful cup in here. So if this is a 3-wave pullback, then it's all about finishing the low. So this is what Theta needs to do. Finish the low, right? Have the completed 3-wave pullback, create a little bit of a base, then start rounding back up to the previous swing high. And then you have yourself your cup, your handle, right? But then more than that, you have a 1-2. And then we can, break out and then continue. So that's what we need. That's what we want to see for Theta. And I think we will see that for Theta. It's just a matter of getting this finished. It might take another week. It might take 2 weeks. It might take a month. I don't know. But I think we're getting close. Bitcoin dominance is looking pretty bad. I mean, it's looking good, which we don't want. Well, let me see. Let me zoom in here. Actually, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it looks corrective. You got 3 down, you got 3 up. You're getting some rejection in here, but you are fighting it pretty strongly. So what we want to see, I mean, what would probably be the best thing? Because what I was going to say is it looks like 3 down, 3 up, and then 3 down, and then we come back up, hit the high, and then crash. But I think what's better for us altcoin holders is for Bitcoin to get back up here, just kind of break the top, and then you have your 3-wave move, rip the band-aid off, get it over with, and then start coming down. I think that would be better, as opposed to having to come back down, then back up, then back down, right? You have that 3-wave, so you have A, B, and then you have C. Hopefully we don't have to deal with that. ADA. ADA, day. I think ADA looks okay. It looks like a better base to me than the other ones did. Let me look a little bit closer here to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we got that triangle look to it, and I don't like those triangles because it just when you have 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you kind of coil into a triangle, it just gives me the vibe that we're gonna break down. I don't want to say that, but I hope that's not the case. You know, the other one we were just looking at looked like it wanted to break up. This one, you know, has the potential to break to the upside. But what we need is for this to be rectangular, not triangular, right? So we want this to come up, hit the top, come back, hit the bottom, come back, hit the top, and then break out. And then you have more of a Wyckoff structure as opposed to a triangle structure. And sometimes that could just be an indicator that maybe it's not finished. I mean, we're getting a big dump right now. That's a 4-hour candle. That's a pretty big dump. That's a 4-hour engulfing candle. Let's look at the 30-minute. Yeah, we're coming down here. So, and here we go. Here's Ethereum Classic. This one's also breaking down right now. Like I said, we were just literally talking about that in the last video. This looks like a descending triangle. Look at that. We're breaking down. What about the other one? Shib, we were looking at that one. It's still holding up fairly okay. So we'll keep an eye on it. But XRP didn't really move a lot. Okay, so we're doing okay. All right, Theta Fuel. What's up, Theta Fuel? Do we have any more? Okay, so Theta Fuel came back. We had this sort of you know, we have this 3 up here, and we have this 3 down. So I want to see it come back up and get 5. You know, we have this really, I mean, you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, and then you come up, there's your B, and then we have 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5 for a C here, kind of like a diagonal for a C, something like that. Or you could say this was 3, it's done. This is 3, that's done, and then this is 3. So we have some weird looking flat pattern here. We have a 1, A, B, C for a 2, and now we want to build a little bit of a base and then break out. That's the way I want to see it. It doesn't mean, I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. So yeah, let's see if we can get going here. We're probably not going to just go straight up. Probably need to just go sideways a little bit, or we need to hit the low again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this can flag out, come back up, you know, do something like that. That would be the best thing for it. Yeah, we already looked at Theta. It just looks bearish to me. I just don't know, man. It just doesn't look right to me. Avax looks okay. again, it's just very trashy wave structure. You got 3 down, you got 3 up, and you also got 3 down. Then you have a 1, a 2. You got your base in here. It looks okay. I'd like it to go sideways a little bit more, maybe into February, and then start to break out. Not really interesting. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Aave looks good, though. Aave, you can see very clearly. 3, 3, 3. Look at that 3-wave move there. That's beautiful. And then you have this 1, 2, another 1, 2. Looks good, actually. But I don't know about right here. I'm not so sure what's going on here. If we can hold that low here and build a base and break out. Do we have bullish divergence? Not really. Yeah, maybe a little bit on the 1 hour. Boom, boom. That's a tough one, but yeah, I think it's overall bullish. I think we just gotta. Everything to me looks like it needs more time, right? I mean, we looked at a lot of assets. They all look like they need more time. That's just from a structure experience. How much more time? You know, I want to see what happens this week. Let's see what happens this week. Let's see what kind of price action we get. It should be interesting. That's why I'm saying, could this be the calm before the storm? Right? Notice how everything's very calm. Everything's kind of stagnant. Everything's kind of just doing nothing. So is it the calm before the storm? We'll see. Polygon, Matic. I think Matic looks good. Remember, we're looking at all of these from a fractal basis, right? So if I take, for example, let's look at dot, or let's see here. Oh, come on. And the fractal looks okay still, right? I mean, you can see 3 up, 3 down, and then we take off. 3 up, we got 3 down, and then we have a 1, 2. Let's see if we could take off. You know, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Looks good as a fractal. So same thing with Filecoin, right? Same thing with Near. Okay, so H bar looks a little bearish right now. Again, it looks bearish because, I mean, everything kind of seems bearish except Monero. Monero looks bullish. But if everything, if like, you know, if this has to come down for a C wave, then that makes sense, right? So you have a wave 1, and then you have A, B, C. Or what could happen here is the B wave could get more complex. So we could have 3 down, 3 up, and then maybe 5 up. So A, B, C. There's your B wave. So we have 3 down, then we get 3 up, and then we get maybe another 3 back down. And there's your 1, and there's your 2. You develop a base in here, and then you break out. So you get that 3-wave shape. So 1, 2, go. That's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. Unless we rip the Band-Aid off and just come right down. A, B, C, D, or A, or actually W, X, Y, X, Z, something like that. And then, you know, continue. The small time frames, I mean, you can really clearly see this 3-wave move here. We got another 3 there. Let's see if we get another 3 down, and then we get maybe 5 up. So maybe some more downside. Ethereum. So Ethereum looks insane because it's just coiling so tightly in here. So it's just getting to an apex. And I have a feeling it's probably going to lead up into the Fed Powell speak. So maybe he'll start speaking. He's going to say, oh, we're going to hold the rates steady. We're not going to cut. Maybe we drop and then we fly. Or maybe we pop and then we dump. I don't know. It's a tough one. We're at a very tough spot right now. But I will say one thing. I think ultimately all of this leads to a big breakout. And the reason I say that is because when you zoom out, it looks bullish to me. It looks very bullish. Just on the small time frames look trashy. The zoomed out approach still looks really good, right? I still really like this 3-wave move. You could see a 3-wave down, right? So that's good. That's what you want. We could see a little range like this, if you will. Make it smaller. Something like that, you know what I mean? Where it's just kind of confusing. And then we break out. So that would be something interesting. Right? Anyway, CRV. Yeah, it looks kind of trashy because it looks like it wants to cup down. It's cupping down. It looks descending triangle-ish, It just doesn't look good. I don't know, man. Maybe the market is... Some of these coins just don't look right to me. They look like they're sick and they need help. At least for a while. QNT, just nothing really there. ICP, we looked at it already on the first video. Jasm. Now Jasm looks kind of interesting. Because I see it. I see the 3 down. I see the 3 up, and I see another 3 down. I see a 3-wave move. I see an impulse, a 3-wave pullback. I see also bullish divergence. Probably stronger on the smaller time frames. Look at that. Pretty strong. So, now what? Well, if this can build a base in here, a structure in here, or maybe even hit the low and then build that structure, then I can look for upside. So yeah, when I look at Jasm, it actually looks pretty decent right there. Bohm looks like a disaster. It could be dead. We don't know. Like I said, it could go to 0, right? And maybe it will. But I'm liking the 3-wave shape, right? You got an impulse. You got a 3-wave pullback. We need to hold a low here. We need to build a base, and then we need to break out. Render, same thing as all the other ones. It's just kind of got that descending triangle look to it, which I don't like at all. I hate descending triangles. I just hate them because they just, they're good for shorts, but I'm not looking for shorts. I'm looking for longs. So, yeah, look at this. It's getting, all of them are getting into an apex here. So we'll just have to wait and see. Same thing with flow, it's kind of getting into that apex. Theta looks pretty bad. It looks head, shoulders, head, cupping down. It looks like it needs to break down. Man, I don't know, man. I'm starting to get bearish now. Jeez, everything looks kind of sad. Litecoin looks okay. It just, to me, maybe we get like an ABC down here. We get a 1, A, B, C, 2, and then we go up. Kind of what I'm thinking here for Litecoin. Let me look at Litecoin on the weekly. Yeah, see, when you zoom out to the weekly, it looks good. It actually looks really good on the weekly, because you have this sort of breakout in here, kind of retesting it a little bit. The main thing Litecoin needs to do is continue to have weekly candle closes above the swing high. So these swing highs, you can see we're about to do that right now. That's good. That's what we want for Litecoin. Right? Again, larger time frames look really good. Smaller time frames, they need work. XDC. Okay. XDC looks okay right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See what happens. Okay, here's a good example. See what happens in here. You have this descending triangle, right? And then volatility slows, it slows, it slows, it slows, and then it drops down. It comes back up, it retests it as resistance, it hits the low one more time, and then it goes back up. That's kind of usually the way it works. So if we look at total 3, actually total 3 looks good. Total 3 looks triangular. I mean, it looks like you have your impulse and you're coiling up in here. So, we could break to the upside on total 3, which is kind of surprising because a lot of these other coins look a little bit trashy. Jupiter. One of the things I said with Jupiter is I want to see a range down here. That didn't happen. We came swinging right back to the top. So if it did that, it broke the top. Now what it needs to do, it needs to prove to me by flagging out and breaking out higher. That's what I want to see for Jupiter. Now I need to look at some of these weekly candles and see. See, the weekly candle looks pretty good here on Chronos. Looks okay here. You got on Velo, you got a 3-wave little flat there. XRP versus Ethereum. It looks like it's gassing out a little bit, stalling out. I looked at XRP in the previous video, but I will look at it one more time in case you didn't get to see it. I won't force you to watch the other one. So, yeah, I don't really have much to say about it except, we got this triangle in here. And it's super, super close, guys. I mean, we could have a big move is coming, guys. I don't know. I mean, it looks like a big move is coming. Kind of see a triangle here, right? And we broke out. Now you got another triangle here. So I want to see the Bollinger Band. So you can see the Bollinger Bands are getting kind of tight. Let me go up to the daily. I know the daily, they're probably super wide. See, back over here, we were also talking about the Bollinger Bands. Actually, it was on the weekly chart. And you could see how tight they were getting. Right? So look how tight they were getting, and that's what led to that big breakout. Now we take that same idea, that same concept, you can see how tight it's getting in here. You see how wide it is, wide. It's pretty wide, wide. Now look at it. It's really tight, guys. So, yeah, we'll see how it breaks. We'll see how it breaks. Bull market support band, EMA ribbon, kind of tight. Nothing really there. All right, Solana. Let's take a look at Solana. Can somebody tell Blockchain Packer that it's not Melania, it's Melania? I guess it doesn't matter. And it's not Solana, it's Solana, right? Or am I wrong or am I right? I don't know. Like what is it? Is it Melania or is it Melania? I think it's Melania. That's what Trump says. And then Solana is Solana, not Selena. I don't know, man. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of looks weak a little bit. A lot of times when I say these things, it just means it's not finished yet. Once it's finished, it's going to look more clear. But we don't have that clarity. Like if I take a trend line here, I mean, you're right there on that trend line. Versus this, you can kind of see a little bit of an ascending triangle there. But I don't really like ascending triangles as they drop in and they do this because they still look like B waves that could break down. So I'm looking at this as a B wave. I feel like it needs to be A, B, and then a C. So that seems to be the theme for everything I just said, like pretty much A, B, C. Same thing with Solana, or not Solana, but the other ones we were looking at. But Vchain, you can see we're kind of breaking down now. See how the volatility got really small here, and now we're starting to break down. Doesn't mean it's over. It just means in the short term, we might need a little bit of a dump here. And maybe we could, if we do break the low, we get the divergence, build the base, and then go. So we definitely need some work. Sui. I haven't looked at Sui. I told you guys not to get Sui. I told you, man. I kept saying it over and over. Why do you want Sui? It looks terrible. First of all, it broke up into new all-time highs. You missed it if you didn't get it. And then second of all, it just all of the divergence you were getting in here. Now, this could be very bullish for Sui because, you know, if it's, for example, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get A, B, and then a C, and then we get back down in here. That would actually be pretty bullish for Sui if we had a big correction. Kind of like a flat maybe. Boom, boom, boom. So, but when we were kind of up here, I didn't like it. But if we come back down here, it'll be attractive again. BNB, I haven't looked at this one in a good minute. Weekly chart. Wow. Does look pretty good. I'm just not sure if this is a flat. Or if this is just creeping, and then we break out. So it's going to be one of those two. I don't know which one. Again, with Bitcoin, we looked at it. I mean, Bitcoin's going to have the highest weekly close ever. It's also going to have the highest monthly candle coming up in very soon. So I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I wish I would be more helpful. Flare. I think someone asked me about Flare. Yeah, Flare looks okay. You know, you got a big 1, 2. You know, you had your low, and then you took the low out. I would assume there's divergence on the high time frames. You have a 1, you have a 2, and now you're kind of coiling in here. So you have point A, point B, point C. It's kind of challenging. Is it going to break down? Is it going to break up? I mean, I guess it's going to go with the rest of the market. My intuition is that either this is a three-wave move and it's finished. So we have a big 1, 2. This is another 1, three-way pullback, 2. And then we continue. Simple. Or this is 3. Then we're going to get another 3 and then another 3 and then go. So it's going to be probably one of those options. DXY. DXY is coming down, which is what we want. We need DXY to come down. Right? So if this could just come on down, we'll be very happy. Oh, this is an interesting chart. This is Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum dominance combined. And it actually looks pretty bullish right now, honestly. Yeah, it looks like it's flagging out. It looks like she wants to pop up, which could be okay for Ethereum. Dogecoin, same kind of thing with Doge. It's you know, it's just kind of hanging out up here, trying to make a decision. Let me look a little bit closer here. 1 hour chart. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's all the charts are the same. They got this triangle in here. They're either waiting to break up or break down. It seems to me like it wants to break down on some of them, but I don't think it'll be short-lived. Again, I could be wrong. This is not financial advice. Do not take what I say and use it as advice, because I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I'm just looking at the structure and trying to make sense of what it means. The daily kind of looks concerning to me because you have 3 down, you have 3 up. This could be the start of a big crash, guys, a big C wave down here, and then go back up later on. So that's what I'm concerned about. That's what I'm worried about. You know, so let me stick with this time frame. Jupiter looks great. Now let me just look at a bunch of coins here on the daily. Yeah, it could be a big flush here and then a continuation for Bitcoin Cash. USDT is the dominance. This is what we don't want. We need this. So we're right at the edge here, right? We need this to break down for dominance. T-drop. T-drop actually looks good. It actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, I just don't know if this is a B wave, A, B, C, and then go, or if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we break out. I just don't know right now. But it actually looks pretty bullish. I don't own this. I don't even know how to own it. But it looks okay. ETH. We looked at ETH already, but I'm just looking at the daily. The daily looks good on ETH compared to that other one because I see a 3-wave move. Versus what we were just looking at, again, we were looking at, was it ADA? Yeah, like ADA as well. You know, I don't have the C wave. Or was it, and then IOTA. IOTA's okay looking. because we're right at support here. It looks okay for IOTA. I'm just trying to make sense of this. Oh, it was Dogecoin. That's what it was. Okay, so Dogecoin on the daily chart looks kind of like it needs to do that. Versus looking at something like Ethereum, it already did that. So I don't know. Maybe ETH is about to wake up here soon, right? So I wouldn't sleep on Ethereum. I think it's going to do well. I just think it needs a little bit more time, but yeah, once this range gets figured out and maybe we pop the low here, then I'm gonna see, like, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have A, B, and then let's come down and get C. We have a 1 and a 2. Let's come down, take the low, build a base, and then break out. If we're down here, that's gonna be good. That's what I want to see. But to me, again, it doesn't look finished. It looks like it needs more. Okay, so stacks. I don't know, man. It just, that one doesn't look good. Shib does not look good either. Does not look good right here. It looks like if we could break down and kind of liquidate a lot of people and get down here, build a base, that'll be good. That's what we want. Let me see. Let me zoom out on Shib here and let me look at the weekly. What's going on here? So we do either this is an A, B, and a C. A, B, C, which would be bad. Because this is the weekly chart. This would take 6 months. Or no, maybe not 6 months. It would take at least 4 months to fix itself. Like, for example, when you look at Toncoin, it's got that 3-wave shape, maybe a little bit further down, and then we'll be set. What about Rune? Rune looks good. That's what we want to see, guys. That's what we want to see right there. That's good. That's what we want. Look at that. We have the 3-wave shape. It came down. It took the low. Now it looks finally bullish. So maybe Rune is just an example of what where would it go, of what it did. And this is on the weekly too, by the way. So let me see what it looks like on the daily. Very cool. And we don't have any bullish divergence though, but maybe we do on the weekly. No, we don't. Yeah. Kind of a wait and see. But I would imagine we're close. I mean, it kind of looks like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe one more. I'm not sure, but the best way to see it is if we build a range in here. But yeah, it looks okay. I mean, I like the 3-wave shape. That's what you want. And then not only that, but you back tested back down here at this accumulation area down in here. So that's good. Plus you have your neckline, you got a cup, or you got a shoulder, you got another shoulder, and maybe this is another shoulder working as well. So Casper the Friendly Ghost. Casper really kind of screwed me because this was one of the biggest. I mean, this was one of the coins that I was staking. One of the biggest ones I was staking. I was staking it all through here. I'm still staking it, by the way. It's called Casper Dash. Kevin Cage made a really good argument for it, so I jumped on board. And all through here. And then bam, it just took me out. But now I look at Casper, it actually looks freaking bullish. Because now I see that big wave and I see a three-way pullback here. It looks really good. Casper, I haven't looked at it in a long time. It looks good. I never sold it. So, looks okay here. Axie Infinity. This one was actually one of the biggest gainers of all time. It went from 10 cents all the way up to freaking almost 170 bucks. I mean, that is gnarly. And I think it was even less than that. I think it started less than that. But just to give you an idea, that's almost 160. That's over 160,000%. That's nuts. That's 160x, I think. No, that's got to be more than that. I think that is it 1,000x. Anyways, I mean, yeah, it looks okay. You know, you're building this range. It kind of reminds me of Theta. Look at this. If we turn this on here, and then we go to the weekly. There we go. And then we do this. Yeah, it actually looks okay. Look at that. You got this little area here. You got this little area here, right? Not too bad. So the tough part is trying to figure out where we are. Are we right here? I think we are, guys. I think that's where we're at. So let me pull up some arrows. Right there. Right there. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? You could see, let me zoom in a little bit more. How this came up, or actually, let's start at the beginning. Boom, 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 boom. Come back up, flush the low, pump up a little bit, come back down, go sideways, pop the high, and then pop the high. I don't know, man. I think that's a good fractal there. I think it looks decent. So, all right, I think that'll do it. The last thing I want to talk about is Matic. Matic, to me, is probably going to be a big one. And then also Chainlink. But the way it looks to me, I mean, you got these beautiful three-way pullback. I mean, look at this. You got a 1, 2, 3. And then you have 3 down, 3 up, and then 5 back down. A, B, C. Same thing here, A, B, C. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Could this be 1, 2 of the 5th? And then we get 3 of the 5th, 4 of the 5th, 5 of the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think so. Matic is the only coin that I've seen that has this type of wave structure going over the last 5 years. I mean, was it 5 years? Yeah, that was back in 21. So more like 4 years, right? Yeah. So it has a 4-year three-way pullback. Freaking pretty awesome to me. So anyways, guys, that's it for part 2. Hopefully, you know, it's not so helpful, but again, I think we're getting there. I think we're getting closer. I just want to see it make a move. I want to see some volatility. I want to see some more price structure, and then we'll go from there. But ultimately, I'm bullish long term. I just think in the short term, we might see a little bit more downside if I had to give my final assessment. Now, I could be wrong on that, but we'll see. We'll have to play it out. But anyways, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like, subscribe, drop a comment. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.